Now, we are finally in in a position to say, "Oh, a Tooth Fairy rerun! Wow, wow, sugoi!" Right? So, I honestly at first I didn't want to make this video because it was whatever, right? But I saw a lot of people asking a question in my like as a comment on like 2 or 3 of my videos, and I was like, okay, is this a topic? And I was like, okay, well, instead of replying to 10 people, let me just make a video, right? What are you gonna do? Not watch it? Oh my god, right? So if you're not interested, you don't click on it, right? So the question was, guys, what should I do? I don't have Tooth Fairy and I don't have KAKANIA. Who do you think I should pull for? Should I pull for Tooth Fairy or should I pull for KAKANIA? Some people even in here said it. I don't remember who it was, who cares? But this is an actual question that could be helpful for some players because we know at this point we have a lot of fairly new players that joined in different patches, and depending on the patch they joined on, their account is statistically going to miss some core characters that everybody has, right? But the everybody is not everybody. If you're a veteran playing from day one or around there from 1.0 or even 1.1, you probably have all the important characters throughout the patches. But most people that are new or they joined maybe on like 1.4 onward, they're going to be missing Tooth Fairy, right? And Tooth Fairy never reran with a proper banner until now. The first time she reran was a double banner, I think. Besides the make your own, I think she had a scam banner. It was like one of those banners that are like basically limited, and whatever you do inside that banner you get fucked, like your pulse get evaporated, and that was like weird. A lot of people that know didn't pull on it, but a lot of people did as well. I couldn't resist, I pulled. Oh my god, my pulse. Oh no shit, right? Oh well, I wonder, maybe you should have listened to me. Anyway, the question is KAKANIA versus Tooth Fairy. It depends on like 50 factors as usual. I wish one time I would have to make a video where it's like very, very clear, right? One of those like, oh, should I pull Lilia and rerun? I wish every banner was like that. But the more we get into the game, the more complicated it becomes. Now, first of all, to answer this question, do you need a healer? Do you have a Vila? Yes or no? Do you have a healer that it's 6-star and it's fairly new or high tier? Yes or no? Do you have Tooth Fairy? If yes, then why are you here? Just pull KAKANIA. If you have Vila, yes. Do you have Yenisei? Do you have Yenisei? Yes. Then pull KAKANIA, right? In my opinion. You know why? Even though Tooth Fairy is still pretty high tier, even though I don't think it's the same tier as Vila, I don't think, right? I don't know, maybe. I don't know. It's the same tier as Vila, Tooth Fairy. You know, Vila is a character that does a lot of fucking things. And Tooth Fairy, it's a 1.2 character. The game was just coming out. What was like 2 patches after the release of the game. No wonder Tooth Fairy is very simple. Confusion. Big heal, AoE heal, skills with attack, which so it's always big. Can crit. Baby Tooth, when you get to 5, you shred the defense, the critical defense and critical rate of the defense of the enemy. So you crit more often and for more damage. And that is it. And when you do the ultimate and you crit, you purify everybody in your team from all the debuffs. Pog, but that is it. And then we have Vila that does 50 things, buffs with multiple things, damage up, more damage up if you're mental. Even if you're not mental, you still get damage up. So technically, she could be used on reality. It's what I do all the time. And the ultimate gives you that weird stage, Rusalka stage. It gives you an extra card. If you don't play Vila during Rusalka state, you only use the special Jolly card and you don't do anything else from her card, she's just automatically healing twice. And even if it's a smaller heal, it's still a mega heal. It's still a big heal, considering that you're not doing anything. You're just fighting, and she's like there floating, blasting like 1.3, 1.4 heals. That's pretty good for everybody, right? So, and she does it for like what, 3 turns, and then if you could technically just self-sustain Rosalka by giving the card back to her, even though it's a kind of a waste, but you can. So, you know, it's a little bit of a different situation. I wouldn't say it's the same ranking, but so because of that, if you have Vila and if you have Yenisei and she's built, even if she's not built, if you have Yenisei, especially P5 Yenisei, and some people might have her because, in general, even P0, because of Chu, right? If you started in 1.6 and you pull for Chu, you probably have at least 1 copy of Yenisei, unless you got unlucky. But in that scenario, I would consider skipping Tooth Fairy. I would never, in my life, expected to saying these words. But do you need Tooth Fairy at that point? You are thinking about pulling between Tooth Fairy and KAKANIA. KAKANIA is a new character. KAKANIA is very strong, especially in raids. Outside of raids, you can shit on everybody with any character at this point. Even if you just have Lucy, you can shit on Limbo, you can shit on Utu. Even if you can shit on Utu, because you are using the wrong cards, the special cards from Utu. So in that case, just rearrange your cards. You don't need a new character. And Limbo, nobody has any problem with Limbo anymore. And if you do, it's because your account is just not to that point of build. Like all of your characters are not I3, it's level 60 and stuff like that. Well, not level 60, you know what I mean. So that is that special case. So people nowadays are focusing a lot more on raids and comfortably clearing raids in triple S, right? Because if you don't do triple S, people are gonna lose their mind. It's gonna feel like you didn't win. It's gonna feel like you didn't play well enough, or you are not done with the raid until you triple S, which I think it's a topic on its own. But I have a giga hot take on that. But whatever. I'll say it at the end of the video. I'll see if I remember. Okay. Now, KAKANIA. KAKANIA is a really good character, especially for raids, as I was saying. So, it's a luxury character. Yes, it's a luxury character. So, I would say, rather than saying Tooth Fairy or KAKANIA, I would say Tooth Fairy or save for a character that I want. Right? Because you could easily argue that you don't need KAKANIA to do anything. You don't need the sharing, or like the interception of damage to KAKANIA. You don't need to do the whole empathy stuff, charging up, dealing Genesis damage, AoE, or stuff like that every turn, and again the heal, passively heal by a little bit, and then if you have stuff like that. I think she's still a pretty luxurious choice to pick up. It's not a character that you necessarily need. It's not a mandatory character. I always said this, and I will continue to say. I also said it in the video. It's not a character that you need to pull. If you like KAKANIA, sure. But in this case, should you pull? Which one should you pull? Between the two, KAKANIA, if you have healers. If you don't have healers, then maybe Tooth Fairy, right? Because again, KAKANIA is a luxury pool. What do you want? A luxury pool that you don't need because you already have 50 supports, or the second healer that you don't have, right? The second 6-star healer. Tooth Fairy is still good, you know, but you could skip in that specific scenario when you have Yenisei and Vila. Now, the problem, there are two more problems, I would say. First of all, we might get a future healer at some point in China. We are getting to the point where it's been a while, right? 1.8 we got Vila. It's been a while since we got a healer in CN. And we just got a support, Anjonala, and we just got a limited DPS, Lucy. Before that, it was Chu. So who's coming in CN on the next CN New Year, right? On February-ish. I don't remember what it is. I think it's in February. is there is a healer coming there? It's gonna be. Are we getting a limited healer? But you know, who knows? Maybe we're getting a non-limited healer, but it's gonna be a new healer, 6-star in the normal in between banners. That could be as well. But the problem is that at this point, is Tooth Fairy kind of getting into the old stuff? Maybe we don't need her anymore. If we get a new healer, it's been a while. We've got a lot of characters, and none of them is a healer. None of them is a healer. A lot of characters. 1.9, 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Maybe you get a healer. 2.4. Maybe you get a healer. So who knows? At this point, maybe you want to wait for the new healer and make do with Yenisei and Vila if you're in that scenario, or just pick it up. This is your choice. This is your chance now. That said, there's another issue. People saving for future characters, right? You need to remember that we're now getting a character that it's limited every 3 patches. So it's gonna be Lucy, boom, 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 I think. And then Anjanala, boom, boom, boom. Limited, boom, 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 right? So you need to, if you're free to play, or if you're very, very low spender, like you just get the daily, the monthly pass, let's say. That's a low spender, I would say. Very low. At that point, do you want to like waste pools picking up stuff like that? Like, oh, I'll rerun, right? If you're missing core characters, such as Windsong, for example, now that's a rerun that you should be pulling on, right? I would probably do that as well. And that would be one of those characters that incentivize the use of KAKANIA. So I would say for a KAKANIA point, pulling KAKANIA, 1 point towards that is if you're in possession of Windsong and you don't pick up KAKANIA, now KAKANIA now becomes a little more important, in my opinion, if you own Windsong, because you can do the meme of the gigantic nuke with Windsong and KAKANIA following up after the ult, following up with the gigantic instance of Genesis damage after you finish doing the boom bam boom bam boom bam boom bam boom bam bam boom with Windsong. So in that case, that I would say that's more of a reason to make sense. It's not luxury pull anymore if you have Windsong. I do not have Windsong, so but I would still pull KAKANIA for me. But between the two, the final issue is people saving, right? Are you saving for Joe? Are you saving for Mercuria? Are you saving for Tuesday? Are you saving for Argus? You know, in that case, then you don't need any of the two. Unless you are severely lacking a healer, picking up KAKANIA, and if you don't have Windsong as well, right? That's going to be a kind of a gigantic luxury optional, super optional pull. So I wouldn't do that, to be honest. That said, let's recap. If you have Vila and Yenisei, skip Tooth Fairy. If you have Vila but you don't have Yenisei, consider pulling Tooth Fairy, or wait if you want to Giga suffer without a second healer for very, very long time in the hope that we get a healer in CN. If you have Vila and Yenisei and you are content, you can clear every content, then skip Tooth Fairy and pick up KAKANIA, unless you don't need KAKANIA because you don't own Windsong. If you own Windsong, then consider pulling KAKANIA, but even then, it's not something that you need mandatory. It's just something cool that you could use, and a lot of people like to shit on content, me included. So if there is a combo that shits on content, then you do that, right? So that said, moving on, if you don't own Windsong, then skip both, right? At this point, skip both and save for whoever you want. For example, in my opinion, Mercuria is shit on way too much compared to what she does. Way too much. So, personally, if I didn't have many pulls, I would skip KAKANIA and pull Mercuria. Me personally, right? Because I like how she works. I like her gameplay. I like her kit, Mercuria. The fact that she gives every card +1 incantation, like one fake incantation. It's not fake, it still counts as 2, but it's like temporary Giga incantation AoE plus. So, you know, I like how she works, and she also buffs a little bit. So in that case, personally, I would do that. So consider skipping Kakania as well between the two if you are saving for a future character, or if you're free to play and you are saving for Anjonala. Okay, so I think that's a good recap. Also, the Giga hot take. Let me finish with this. I think that nobody gives a fuck about Triple S or Red Triple S, and it's just a way of like flexing, right? Nobody really cares, right? Nobody gives a fuck. You shouldn't give a fuck about doing Triple S. You shouldn't pull a character because of Triple S, or because you can't Triple S, you need that character. You shouldn't do that, in my opinion. And if you care about that, about Triple S and Red Triple S, that is fine. What I'm saying is, do not waste your pulls to try and do Triple S. You are missing, like realistically in game in terms of reward, you are missing like a breadcrumbs. Maybe you're missing one material. Wow, no way. If you correctly buy the order in the correct order, the items in the mains bulletin shop, you don't mess it up, you buy the most important ones, and then you go down with whatever you can afford. If you don't Triple S any of the raids, you can still buy all the important materials, and then the other random shitty materials, or like even some yellow shit that you can pick it up, who cares, right? You can just farm it. So you shouldn't pick up a character for Triple S. That said, that was my hot take. I don't know if it's hot, maybe it's lukewarm. That said, I will be pulling KAKANIA because I am not a free-to-play and I can just pull for luxury pulls. I will be pulling KAKANIA when she comes out. If you want to pull KAKANIA on stream on twitch.tv/Jakazin, you can join Discord linked in description. And whenever the day is, the day of, you can pull on stream if you want, right? That said, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree or do you disagree? I want to know. I want to know your situation. Also, if you have your own special situation, type it in the comment and I will try to help you, okay, if I see it. There's a lot of people typing, so, you know, I'm starting to miss here and there. That said, thank you for watching and see you next time.